I don't believe in rebrands, and neither should you. Because how many years have you been rebranding your life, and how many of those rebrands have actually come to fruition? That's what I thought. Hi guys, my name is Jordan and welcome back to my channel. Happy freaking New Year. I know I just posted a whole New Year's Eve vlog video, but I just want to say it again, Happy New Year, welcome to 2026. 2025 was a year for me. It was a huge year for me. I felt like that was the first year where I was actually able to get outside my comfort zone and post on YouTube. Like, I've been posting for an entire year. By the time this video comes out, what are we talking about? And I know that Jordan was talking about how she needs her flowers, and I gift you some poinsettias, okay? No, but seriously, thank you guys so much. I hit 500 subscribers right before the new year hit, which is insane. Thank you guys so much for all the support, the love, the comments, the likes, the views, even if it was 10 views versus 100 views. Like, I really do appreciate it all. So not only are these for Jordan from last year, these are for you guys too. We need to get serious because I know it's January. It's probably the middle of January when you're seeing this video, and you are probably in your rebrand era. You're rebranding, you're on Pinterest, you're doing this and that. You're trying to get your life together. Put down the iPad, put down the laptop, put away Pinterest, put it away, okay? We need to talk about what rebranding actually means and why we should actually not be rebranding at all. First things first, I want to reassure anybody who hasn't gone through an entire rebrand, rated their Pinterest board, and made a vision board of all those things, wrote down their goals, blah, 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 by the 1st of January. It's okay. I like to see January as the first real month of actually like planning and getting your life together. I think it's kind of ridiculous for all of us to expect that we'd be brand new people by New Year's Day. By January 1st, we need to be brand new people with brand new routines, brand new. As a girl with high anxiety, I can't do all the changes and establishing of routines and all that stuff within a week. We're not being realistic, and we're only focusing on the cutesy Pinterest board vision boards that we have, okay? There is work that goes into actually making these vision boards and these goals and dreams of ours every year come true. And that's one that not a lot of people want to talk about, but I'm here to talk about it. First thing that I want you to understand is January is the time where you are supposed to be refining and planning and prepping for the entire year. Now, what do I mean by refinement? In tech, refinement is a meeting that we have maybe like once every week, once every 2 weeks, where we all gather around, look at all the work that we have in front of us, and go through each single thing that we want to work on, each single one of our goals that we're working towards, and figure out what small tweaks and adjustments we need to make in order to actually reach those goals. And I bring that up because I feel like every single year when we talk about a rebrand, we really need to be talking about refining and going through with a fine-tooth comb over our goals instead of just starting anew and just completely rebranding ourselves, because 9 times out of 10 that's not gonna stick. What you actually need to be doing is sitting down and figuring out what worked for you, what didn't work for you, what changes you need to make, and what new things that you want to slowly introduce into your life, which is why it's important that you aren't rushing yourself when you're doing this. And that is why January is so important. I'm here to reassure you that January is not the month to be going super duper hard on all your goals. January is where you're refining and you're planning. We're gonna take January slow. We're gonna, instead of having our vision boards and goals completely written out and finished, we're gonna go through and slowly comb through every single one of our goals in life that we want to accomplish this year, or goals we want to carry over from last year, figure out what systems we need to put in place, and then we can go and hit the ground running. So in order to do that properly, the first thing that we need to do is a life audit. Now, that might sound super heavy and super intense for some of you, but it can be as simple as answering 3 questions or doing a thing that I like to do, which is my life audit circle. Now, what is a life audit, you might ask? A life audit is basically when you sit down and look over every single area of your life that you want to improve, work on, or even just slightly tweak, and you list down all of the things that are working for you, what's not working for you, and how you want to change those things up. It can be as simple as literally answering all 3 of those questions for every single area of life. So for example, if you want to make improvements to your career, what are you doing that's been working for you to enhance your career? What have you not been doing that's not been working to enhance your career? And what's something small that can get you to where you want to be? Same thing with health, finances, mental health. Every single area of your life that you think of, you can just simply write down those 3 questions answer those 3 questions for each area of your life, and that can be as deep of a life audit as you want. So for the girls who are more of a visual learner and need to be able to see exactly what type of things they want to audit, let me introduce to you the Life Audit Circle. I got this idea off of TikTok from a creator that I really love. I forgot her name, so I'll plug it here and I'll also show the video.
Your life feels out of whack because you're basically raw dogging it. You cannot fix what you don't measure, so let me show you how to measure it. Also, today's the 1st of the month and it's a Monday. No excuses. If you want to know where you need to have more rest or more balance in your life, you first have to create space to observe it. Otherwise, you're just running on autopilot, wondering why you feel off. This is not new though. At Duke University's integrative medicine program, they use structured self-assessment methods, things like visual wheels, rating scales, and guided reflections as part of their integrative health coaching. Research shows that these simple tools help people pinpoint where they feel out of alignment and create plans that actually stick. And the reason they work is because you are turning feelings into something that you can actually see and measure. So here's my simple version that I like to do every single month. You draw a circle, hopefully it's better than mine, and you divide it into slices. Then you label each slice with an area that matters to you. I'll do career, finances, physical health, mental health, relationships, physical environment, fun and recreation, and personal development. This is a really bad circle, I'm sorry. Then you're going to rate each of these categories from 1 to 10, 1 being the closest to the center and 10 being the furthest from the center. I've made all of my little points. Then you connect the dots and you see the shape of your life. As you can see, I'm a bit out of balance. You wanna know what else this shows me? It shows me the areas that I have the opportunity to focus my energy on. This really doesn't have to be super complicated. I set a 30-minute timer on Opal. I lock my apps and I give myself a distraction-free zone to do just this. Some people like to do a weekly check-in. I prefer to do it once a month, and then I add some reflective questions once I identify areas that I would like to improve in. It's a small act that creates huge clarity. So if you've been feeling drained or stuck, start here, because measuring where you're at is the first step to improving where you're going. Also, I got all of these new markers. The red ones are the best. If you want me to get a new whiteboard, you should tweet my boss.
It's just a great way to visualize where everything is at in a month. So I'm gonna show you. It's really close. So as you can see, I have a circle and a lot of drawings around. Start with the circle. Start by drawing a big circle on the page and then splitting it up into 8 quarters like it's a pizza pie. For each single piece of the pie, I want you to write down one section of your life that you want to work on. So for example, I did personal development, career, finances, physical health, mental health, relationships, my physical environment, and fun and recreation. Those are all the areas of my life that I want to work on and audit. And for each one of those pieces of pie, you're gonna draw a dot, kind of like rating your life on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a dot closer to the middle of the circle and a 10 being a dot closer to the outer edge of the circle. 1 is not great, 10 is really great. And you're gonna do that for every single piece of the pie. After you do it for every single piece of the pie, you connect the dots, and that is essentially the shape of your life. Now, mine look a little wonky. This was from October. I did this in October. I'm gonna really try to do this every single month because I did it for October, November, and December, and it really helped me see where I'm at in life and where I want to go next. That's the shape of your life. That's kind of a visual aid to see like where everything is, how you're feeling about everything, places that you want to improve specifically in your life versus places that you feel like are doing fine. In October, I was having a grand time, okay? Fun was on 10, but the finances was on a 2, okay? After I saw the shape of my entire life, I personally went in and wrote little notes on each section to kind of put more context behind why my life is shaped like that. Finances, I was very low on money. I'm in credit card debt. That's not something I want to talk about right now. And something that I wrote is I want to make more money, but I'm also spending a lot of money. I'm spending over my budgets and I need to cut down and back. That is a perfect example of how to do a life audit that's a little bit more visual, that allows you to see the shape of your life and also allows you to see and write down exactly what you're doing well and what you need to improve on. Every single area on this chart, I did it for all of them. I rated how I feel about that, and then I wrote down little notes about what I'm doing well, what I'm not doing well, and what I want to improve on. You have to do some sort of life analysis in order to figure out what your goals want to be and where you want to go. You can't make the vision board, you can't make the vision bingo card or do any of those things without actually going through your life, writing it down, figuring out what's going on, and going from there. So after you do a life audit and after you go through and figure out all of your goals, all of your aspirations, all the things that you want to do for the entire year, then you can go through and make your vision board. Psych. Don't do that yet, because the vision board doesn't work if you don't work. The next thing that you need to do after you make a life audit is you need to be specific on what your goals are and be specific at what type of systems you want to put in place for those goals. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of what my goals are for this year to help inspire you, and also a little bit of the systems that I'm putting in place personally to make sure that I'm achieving those goals. I also wrote all this down in like my notes app. I literally went through and had my 2026 goals. For every single goal, I wrote down the actual goal and I wrote them down in SMART goals. I know you know what a SMART goal is, girl. We did this in like elementary, middle school. So I need you to go dust off that notebook from elementary, middle school, or refresh your mind on what a SMART goal is, because that is the only way that you are actually going to be able to accomplish your goals. I have 3 major goals that I need to hit. Those are my non-negotiable goals. The first goal is I need to lose weight. It's not a want anymore. I need to lose weight. I've been trying to lose weight for the past 3 years or so, on and off in the gym, on and off in healthy eating. This year is got to get done. So my goal for the end of this year is to be 145 pounds. I'm currently 183. For the outline of my SMART goal, if you really don't know what a SMART goal is, I'll go ahead and tell you. It is a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. We're going to go through each one of those things for all 3 of my major goals. The first part of SMART goal is specific. I had to be specific about the amount of weight that I wanted to lose for the entire year. For me, I want to lose a total of 38 pounds. Measurable. How am I going to measure that I'm reaching those goals? For me, I'm just going to be weighing myself weekly and taking as many progress pictures as I can. Then achievable. How realistic is this goal actually going to be? Which for me, I need to break down and figure out how many pounds I want to lose in a week. I did a little bit of math. For me to lose 38 pounds for the entirety of the year, I need to lose about 0.75 pounds per week, which is, I can round that up to a pound if I really want to. I think that's pretty achievable, honestly. Relevant. How is this relevant to your life? For me, I want to be healthier, I want to work on my confidence, and I want to increase my athletic performance. I've been playing tennis and I've been playing soccer for the past year, 2 years, depending on which sport I'm talking about. I really want to be more athletic in both of those sports. Why? Because why not? And then time bound. So time bound is like the amount of time that you have to achieve that goal. I already kind of laid it out in the beginning of the goal as being like, I wanted to lose it by the end of the year, but I broke it down even more by saying I want to be under 64 pounds by my birthday, which is smack dab in the middle of the year. And then by December 31st, I need to be 145 pounds. Now, after you make your SMART goals, you then need to go in and figure out the systems that you have in place. So I'm going to rapid fire go through my systems that I have in place. So for me, I can handle working out 4 times a week. I can try to handle 8 to 10,000 steps a day. 100% get 130 to 150 grams of protein a day. And then I personally do fasting. I've been fasting on and off for about 2-3 years now, where it's just 2 days out the week where I'm not eating any meals, and then 1 day out the week where I'm eating 1 meal a day. And I decided to change that a little bit, and I'm going to actually be having 1 meal a day on my fasting days, because it was starting to get a little bit difficult and I was feeling a little bit stagnant on that, which is why refinement is important. I would not have realized that if I didn't sit down and, instead of rebranding my entire life, going through and actually seeing what worked and what didn't work. Fasting worked. So instead of completely redoing my workout plan and completely redoing my diet, I just was like, maybe I need to eat 1 meal during that day. And that's it. And then also I put in weigh-ins, progress pictures once a week, and adjusting the calories depending on the phase that I'm in. That's just a quick overview of what SMART goals look like specifically for weight loss, but you can do that for any other goal, any other thing that you want to achieve this year. This needs to be the method on how you do it. Another goal that I have this year, my second non-negotiable goal that I have this year, I want to completely pay off one of my credit cards. Like 100% need to pay off my credit card. I wrote down specifically how much I need to pay off my credit card. How I'm measuring it is by my monthly balances being decreased and track it via my credit card statement. Is it achievable? Yes, it is achievable, especially now that I got this new job. Relevant? I really want to be financially free. I want to start investing more. I want to start buying things that have value to them and not just because I see them and I like them. And I'm trying to build a life. I'm trying to save for a house. I'm trying to save for a potential wedding. I have things that I have to save for, and I can't keep throwing my money towards my credit card and hoping that I can still be able to do them. I have to do the work to get myself financially free. And then time bound for this specific credit card, I gave myself until the end of June to pay off this credit card. Zero balance on that credit card, which I think is 100% doable with the amount of money that I plan on making and saving and all those things. My third non-negotiable goal that I have, my third non-negotiable goal is I want to make more friends. Like, I have not been doing my due diligence to actually keep up and make new friends. So I have an entire system set up for actually being able to make new friends. I think for that goal, I said that I was going to attend a total of 5 events in the city for the entirety of the year to meet new people. I'm going to measure it by amount of events that I attend. I think I'm going to print them out and put it like on a board, a scrapbook that I'm going to make for the entirety of 2026. It's going to be spread throughout the year. So that's why it's going to be achievable. Instead of saying I want to do 5 events in 1 month, I'm going to do 5 events for the entirety of the year. That's 1 every quarter plus 1 extra one. Why is it relevant? I really want to continue to build a community around me. I feel like I've been doing that online with you guys via YouTube, but I feel like I need to do a better job at doing it in person as well. And then time bound, I need to go do 5 events by December 31st, 2026. For the system that I have in place for that is I already went through and found events that I can go through from, I think, now until like March. I went ahead and signed up for those events. I put them on my calendar. I blocked out everything else on my calendar to make sure that I'm actually going to those events. And that is how I'm choosing to get it done. Those are the goal setting. That's how we set the goals, period. And that all might seem like a lot of work, but I find it a lot easier to do than sitting down and being like, I need to completely reinvent myself, because trying to build yourself from the ground up to be a completely new person is a lot harder and honestly a lot more difficult to maintain. The thing about setting these type of goals and doing a life audit and just refining your life instead of having to brand the whole thing is there is no pressure to be a perfect person. There is no pressure to completely change yourself. There is only the expectation that you need to be taking these small steps every single day in order to be a little bit better of a version of yourself, which is all I want to be. Now that we've gone through, we've done a life audit, we've set our SMART goals, we set up the systems for those goals, and we are clear-headed on where we want to be this year. Now you can bring Pinterest back out. Bring out the iPad, bring out the laptop, bring it all out. We can do it now. We're good. And we actually have a vision to create for these vision boards. Now, before you sit down and make just a plain vision board, which I love a good vision board. I have about 1 million of them on Pinterest, which also, if you don't already, you should follow me on Pinterest. I love posting all my pictures on there and they're really tea, and I'm having a lot of fun on Pinterest right now. So you should definitely go follow. But might I suggest, instead of a Pinterest vision board, you make a vision board bingo card. Last year was the first year that I ever made a bingo card, and let me tell you, it skyrocketed the amount of goals that I was able to accomplish, because not only was I able to actually make a vision board and put the pictures on there and actually see visually what I wanted my life to look like, I was able to also visually see the written down goals that I had for myself throughout the year. I love this bingo card so much. I was like, let me add a little bit more color. Let me make sure I add myself on my bingo card. If you're not adding yourself onto your own vision board, what are you doing? For this year's vision board, I really wanted to be a lot more intentional about the goals that I have, which is why I went through and made all of my SMART goals. But I also wanted to add a little bit more whimsy and fun and just take the pressure off myself that is with having goals, setting goals, and achieving those goals. As I said before, my 3 non-negotiable goals was to lose weight, to pay off one of my credit cards, and to build a better community. I have all those things on my bingo card. Another goal that I have is I want to read 5 books. I want to host 4 girls night, even if it's just like me and one other person. I want to do 1 full pull-up. Not only do I want to lose weight, I want to be insanely strong. I have a goal of doing a 10-second handstand too. I don't know why I want to do a handstand, but I just feel like I should just be able to whip out my 10-second handstand. I want to perfect my matcha and chai latte recipe. I was really into matcha last year and I kind of fell off of it, but as a girl who likes a little sweet treat, a little sweet drink, I want to bring that back and make the perfect at-home matcha and chai. I'm doing a 3-month-long no-buy, which is also something I have in my bingo card, in order to save money, in order to decrease the amount of debt, and because what do I need to buy right now? I just spent a ban on people for Christmas. I don't need to buy anything else for the next 3 months. I want to collect more physical media. I want to get back into crocheting. I used to be really into crochet. Oh, I also want to write 4 research papers. I was an international baccalaureate student when I was in high school, aka IB student, and one thing that I always was doing was writing a research paper on something, and I feel like I need to be able to continue to do that. Not because there have any research papers that are due or anything, because that is just a muscle that I want to flex. yeah, so those are all of my 2026 goals. Those have been planning for goals. I don't think that we need to be rushing into completely changing our lives. I think it provides a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation on yourself that you're not going to be able to maintain. And instead, you need to ease into them. And I feel like you can't have fun with your goals if you're trying to pressure yourself to accomplish them and be this brand new person every single year. Also, if you're trying to rebrand yourself and be a brand new person every single year, who are you? Do you really know yourself? The whole purpose of us wanting to make these goals and achieve these things is not only to say that we are successful, but to get closer to being who we truly are and understanding and knowing ourselves to a fuller extent. All right, that's all my yapping for today. I hope you enjoyed this goal setting in 2026 reset type of video. I want to do one of these once a month where I basically talk about how I'm still going to go after my goals, even though I'm not doing it super aggressively like I have in the past, and maybe give progress reports of some of my goals. I think that'd be a great way to kind of document how I'm actually doing on these things. I hope to see you next month when I come back to talk about all the things I did in January, and just in general, I hope to see you in the next video. So thanks again for sitting and listening. Take a breath. We're going to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish this year, but take January as the month to figure it out first, okay? Bye!